to bring you my spreadsheet, which is the 2024 reseller spreadsheet. I have done a lot of work on this, and a lot of you have already purchased the spreadsheet, which I'm super grateful for. But this video is kind of to break down exactly how to use it and how I use it every single day. So I'm going to bring the spreadsheet in, and I'm going to make this less than like 10 minutes just to make it as easy as possible so you can see everything that the spreadsheet has to offer, plus anything that you would like to do with the spreadsheet. I'm going to kind of work through how I use it, and then you can kind of move and adjust how to use it. So I'm going to bring the spreadsheet in, and I hope you guys enjoy. All right, you guys should be able to see the spreadsheet now. Right now we're starting off in the monthly trend section. We're actually going to start off in the active listing section. So this active listing section for me is super important due to the reason that this is where all of the active listings go. So you've got your list date to the left. So obviously I've got a couple of things that are still from 2022, all of the things over from 2023 that are still yet to sell. The amount of units is really important. So if you want to track how many units you sold over the top of the year, whenever you move your active listings over to your sales, which I'll show you here in a second, it's really important to have this amount of units function filled in as one, or however many units you have of the certain item. The reason why is it'll show you exactly how many units you've sold across a month span. So make sure you fill this out when you fill the sales sheet out. Obviously, the cost of goods is important as well, because when you're trying to do your cost of goods, whether it's individualized items or by month or by week or by haul or whatever you're going to do, make sure that you fill in this cost of goods. So this kind of thing is self-explanatory. These are the listings down here that I listed today. So these items were the ones listed today, so they don't have a cost of goods because I do by the month, and these are still listings from December that I picked up. So my December cost of goods is still being actively filled in. Let's say that let's say these pair of Converse John Varvatos sneakers sold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this entire row, and I'm going to copy it over. I'm going to hit the copy button, and then I'm going to go to sales. Now sales, this is where your sales sheet would look like. It's going to look completely blank. And this is how exactly I fill it out. You can pick and choose what to fill it out, but in order for certain things to fill out, you have to fill out certain items. So obviously it's the first of the month, or it's the first year of the month. So you're going to put 1 for January. It's the 3rd today. And then this right here where this date listed section is, you're actually going to hit paste. What it's going to do is from the active section, it's going to paste in the correct area where you're needing to paste it. So let's say it's sold on eBay. So we're going to put the E section in there, or the E function in there. And right above it, you can see where it says site code EPMWX. Now, the way that helps is when you've sold it on eBay, later on when we look at platform breakdown and the monthly breakdown and stuff like that, you'll actually be able to see your monthly and platform breakdown as long as you fill this function out. So E is for eBay, obviously, P is for Poshmark, M is for Mercari, W is for Whatnot, and X is for any other platform that you sell on. Now, you can see that it says date sold here, your date listed. Now, this hasn't filled out. There's a reason for that. As long as you put a number in, so let's say these sold for $50. So they sold for $50. Now your days to sell will fill out, and it will fill out for the rest of the year. So say, same thing, you sold another pair. Say you sold another pair on the 4th. We'll just use the exact same listings for in general. eBay again, and it sold for $50. Right, so there's going to be an invalid value because 1/4 isn't actually a date. So that's going to be, let's do 1/5/24. There you go. So it'll automatically fill it in just like that. So this is exactly how I do it. Then obviously your sales after your fees, let's say there's only $10 worth of fees. There's your complete profit, your profits with your cost of goods back. Let's say your cost of goods was $10. There's your complete profit. That is profit, and then profit with your cost of goods back and your fees and shipping. All of that auto calculates for you. So when you need to pull these numbers for your tax professional of how many fees and how much your shipping was, it'll pull it up all in the monthly breakdown. So that's exactly how I use this function on the spreadsheet on the sales section, and you can fill it out all the way until December, all the way from January. And that's exactly how I do it. Now, there's a bunch of ways to do it. Just make sure that you put the count number, which is the amount of units, as 1. Make sure you put that as the count number here. Whether you copy and paste it over, this is going to be massive. This is going to be massive in order to see the days to sell. I'm going to take a water break real fast, as I am trying to get this done as easily as possible so that everybody can see it and understand it. The next part we're going to go over is the daily sales. So we're going to add a sale in there just for the sake of adding it in there. 100, let's say it's sold for $80, cost of goods was $10, right? So it's -2 days to sell. That we'll do 1.5, just so that way everything ends up perfect. So your daily sales, it'll show up right here. Now, this is the daily sales section. The daily sales shows you every single day how much money in sales you have made every single day. Now, this shows you the totals for the month, but these show individualized per day sales. It's pretty simple. You don't have to fill out anything here. As long as you put the date correctly, it will auto fill out for you. The same thing with your daily profit. For every single day of the month, you will be, every single day of the year, you will be able to see exactly how much money you made in profit. Same thing as that daily sales section. It's got totals at the bottom. It's pretty sick. I love it a lot. I think that this is a really good function, so that way you can see every single day how much money you're making, so that way you know every single number in your business. Now, the next section is the monthly breakdown section. This is one of my favorite sections of the entire reseller spreadsheet, and it's because it gives you all of these crazy numbers, which basically all is filled out for you, except you have to do 2 things. Now, obviously, this stuff you don't have to fill out because it automatically fills it out for you. So as long as you're inputting data into it, it will fill it in. So these total sales will fill in, average sales per day, the units sold. Like I said, make sure you fill that part out. Your units sold per day, your average sales per unit, your total profit, average profit per day, your average profit per unit across the year, your margins, which is huge, your return on investment, your cost of goods sold for the year and for your months and stuff like that, your average cost of goods across the months, your average days to sell, which is super awesome, your units listed. Now, these 2 numbers are the numbers you have to fill in. So for me personally, at the beginning of the year, I had 799 pairs listed on eBay. So on January 1st, it started the inventory. You have to manually fill these in. And then every single day you list, I list 15 a day. So it's been 3 days. So I have 45 new listings in here. So because I haven't filled out my sheets, I have 44 inventory growth on top of these on top of this listing. So basically, all you have to do is every month, so say February comes around, and you've got 850 active starting listings, and then you list 450 throughout the month of February. Or let's say you list 200, right? It's an inventory growth. And as soon as your sales, once you fill your sales in, your inventory growth will decline based on how many sales you get. Basically, you get it. But that's why that is there in that reason. But make sure you fill these numbers out because these are huge for the spreadsheet. Now, those are the only 2 functions that you're going to need to fill in past your active and sales. But if you want to see the platform breakdowns and how much money you made per platform, each individual month based on the platforms is broken down into how much you made per platform. So on January, because I'm going to put the $100, it'll say eBay sales, $100, how many units you sold, your average sales price per unit, Poshmark, how many sales you've made on Poshmark, and so forth. But it's a really good breakdown. It shows you exactly how much money you've made once you fill it all out. I think is really helpful because it also shows you what your percentage and your split is between your business. So on average, I think my eBay is around 60% of my business, 63%. And then Mercari's probably around 10%, and Poshmark's around 20%, depending on the months. And those are the only 3 platforms that I sell on. So it helps me to understand how each month is doing based on the other platforms and stuff like that. So I think platform breakdown is also really helpful. And then you've got the yearly breakdown. Obviously, these numbers are very skewed because they're not filled out, but you can tell your average sales per month, your average sales per day. This is just a really good breakdown of just giving you totals. Again, you don't need to fill anything out. This all does it for you, but it's super helpful to see at the end of the year it all filled out. And then this is the new addition for 2024. And this is the cost of goods per month breakdown. So what you do here is, let's just say, for example, this week I've already spent $1,200 on inventory, and then I picked up 50 pairs already. It gives my average cost per pair, or average. You can change this wording to average cost of items, or if you just do individual items, you don't even have to use this. But if you, like me, and you source a lot of shoes and you pick up a lot of shoes, this is really helpful to show you an active cost of goods per pair. So that way you're not scrambling at the end of the week or at the end of the month or every day trying to figure out how much it is. So when you're sourcing, you can just be on your phone, get the Google Sheet out and scroll through it and say, hey, I just paid $1,200 for shoes. I sourced 50 pairs, and then you have a running tally of this. So this is pretty awesome. I think that this is a really cool addition because it helps while you're actively sourcing to show you whether you need to watch how much you're spending, or, oh, I have some more budget than what I normally do. This will help with that as well. So that's really all that this spreadsheet does. I think it's going to be a really helpful guide for you this year. This will help. I have used this personally with my CPA for a very long time. I think that the way that I have structured this makes it super easy for the CPA to enjoy it and see it, and make it easy for them to read it, and they pull information really easily off of it. So if you guys enjoy it or are interested in it at all, make sure you get it in the link below. And on YouTube, it'll be in the description, and Facebook, it will probably be in the show notes. If you guys are interested in the spreadsheet, use code episode 33 of this week's In the Loop podcast to get 10% off your spreadsheet. Hopefully that answers any question. If you have any questions, leave it down below and I'll answer as many as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you.